someone talks to you and says, well, you know, we got to think about the general election. We got to vote against Trump. Go, exactly. If he becomes the nominee, because that's not even true yet. But if he does, then vote Bernie. Because I'm burning your busts. And love trumps hate. That is what we bring to the conversation. So make sure that you are making it your business to get people registered and to get people to the polls to vote. Because it is not enough to just like this on Facebook. It's not enough to just march unless you are marching to the polls. We have to take back our country and show the world what it really looks like. It looks like a movement. It looks like a vision of positivity for the future, where we are all looking out for each other. Not me, us. The media and the establishment are afraid of Trump because he has a groundswell, despite the media bias, of people who are behind him because he is not establishment. And he is pointing at the establishment and the corporate media and saying, you're fired. Drawing a line in the sand and saying, you're fired. Why Bernie has my vote is because he's turning to all of us and saying, you're hired. To help him do that. Bernie Sanders is the only candidate running for president that I know as a fact. When he gets to the Oval Office, he will keep that door open. He will open the blinds and the windows and say, let's get to work. I'm ready. Are you? All right then, let's get to work. And one more thing. Understand that there's a culture behind this. People are afraid. Corporate media is afraid of losing their jobs. The establishment's afraid of losing their jobs. They are being told, believe me, the unspoken, but anyone who's a part of that culture understands, there's an unspoken little hashtag that's going around saying loyalty will be rewarded. We need to let them know that integrity will be rewarded. Speaking of integrity, please welcome to the stage our future president, Senator Bernie.
Well, good evening, everybody. We have another Bernie Sanders rally to attend, this one in Seattle at Safeco Stadium, and we started late. I've got a couple good reasons, though, and if you just give me a minute, I'll tell you what's going on. Let me adjust audio here for everybody. There we go. There we go. What I want to tell you is that we have several feeds, tons of feeds. We've got a feed from Como. We have a feed from Bernie Sanders speeches and events, which is probably grabbing it from one of those guys. We have Fox 13 giving us a feed here. But what I'm working on right now is that Sean Porter, who is Sean from BTV, he's got our live view solo unit, and it should be running. So what I need to do is do some tests. We had it working before, and Sean is down on the field. He is with all of the other guys. He's got a camera. He's got his the live view solo unit. We had a stream coming, but what I don't want to do is miss the event because I've been told that Bernie may be up shortly, and I don't want to miss anything. So right now, what I'm trying to do is, well, if you can bear with me, I'm trying to get things set so we can both be ready to hear Bernie if he walks out and allow me to see if I can't get Sean's signal, and then I could tell you guys that we're watching this from the Bernie 2016 TV official live view solo stream. But right now, I'm gonna have you look at this. This is the feed from ComoNews.com. I want to say thank you very much, ComoNews.com in Seattle, for supplying a feed without retribution, without fear of attack, because this is political speech and it belongs to the people. So thank you very much. And wow, we have more than 600 people already online watching. I'll tell you what I'll do. Let's get the comments going. You guys can have a conversation. Give me a few minutes while I try to pull up Sean's stream and see if we can't make that work. And I can see you guys having a conversation there. You are welcome, Paulie. You're all welcome. Hi, Lightning Larkin and Ivory and Diane and Rosie and Eileen and Fritz, Shaquille, Zox Ovox, Smokey McGee, Robin Morris, one of our wrenches, Annie F., Jake Wimberly. Hi, everybody. How are you doing? It's so good to have you here. As you can see, it doesn't look like they're starting anytime soon. Looks like they're all just hanging out, but you never know. These things start quick. So give me a minute, and one moment. I'm just gonna check this out. How many of you guys saw or have seen Birdie? Right? Have you seen the Feel the Bird? Have you seen the golden finch that was on the podium from the Portland rally? That was incredible, wasn't it? That was absolutely incredible. Really amazed at that. I was watching that. Well, we were all watching it. I think we were all together, and it was very fun. It was amazing. What Bernie had to say was very humbling, I thought. I definitely thought it was a sign. All right, let's see if we have Sean's stream up, and if we do, I will show you that one. We also have Fox 13. I can pull that up too. I want to thank both of them. It's been an interesting change. We weren't receiving any. There was no signals at first. There was nobody providing streams. We couldn't find them, and. But all right, I'm told somebody's coming to talk, and I'm sorry, but we do not have that coming in from. Oh, interesting. Hang on one second. Oh, we have a delay. I'm sorry, folks. There's a delay on the. Hold on one moment.
On the screen now, text WA to 82623. Again, text WA to 82623. Can you hear me now? To find your caucus location, text WA to 82623. Because the energy in this stadium is incredible today, but we need every single one of you in your caucus tomorrow morning. So, I wanted to give a very, very exciting update. People tell me I'm pretty loud usually, so. I want to give you a very, very exciting update about the grassroots outreach that we have done here in Washington over the last 4 weeks. Just today, about an hour and a half ago, we crossed 1 million phone calls in the state of Washington. This is the movement that Bernie talks about. This is the political revolution. So we've got a little bit more time now. So what I want you to do is, if you have a friend, a neighbor, a family member that you're worried is not planning to caucus tomorrow morning, I want you to give them a call. We've made 1 million phone calls, but let's make 10,000 more right now and turn out everyone in our neighborhood, everyone in our towns to caucus for Bernie. Because when people show up, when people engage in this process, Bernie Sanders is going to win here in Washington tomorrow. But really, take out your phone, text your friends, text your family, give them a phone call. Because when people stand up and fight, we win. Thank you, everybody.
Well, that was fun. Little intro there. I'm monitoring both streams. You're gonna see quite a difference in the streams when we change between them. They're both nice and clean streams. I just Fox 13's keeping it on this one thing, and let's see, what do we got? The Como News. They're just both. Everybody's just waiting. Just waiting. Give me 1 second. I'll show you Como News. This is what they've got going on here. Seriously, everybody. As soon as it happens, we'll bring it to you. I know that they're still working on getting people in. I know that that's been a problem. So, and yeah, Sean, we're still trying to get the signal in from Sean. I'm not seeing it now. I don't know what the deal is. It's unfortunate. I can see that he's pushing signal, but we're not getting the signal in. My guess is it's just that's why. Hang on a second. It's interesting the way this works. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get it. I don't think we're gonna get it. It was a good try though. Almost. We will have it for Democracy Spring. There's a few pieces that need to get put together for the solo unit to work. I think what Sean's doing is great. It's streaming for Democracy Spring tomorrow. This is going all the way out to Maryland, and it's going to meet with the Democracy Spring media crew. And Scott is going to go out there, and we were going to be recording that for you from the 2nd of April all the way to the 16th. They are marching from Philadelphia to the Washington Mall. We are going to capture that every day as much as we can with the Live View solo unit and bring you the Democracy Spring March. Then they will do a sit-in on the Washington Mall. They plan actions of possible civil disobedience, and we're going to capture all that thanks to the Live View solo unit. So look forward to that, and I'll let you know more about that as we get there. Right now, we're just waiting for Bernie Sanders to show up. We've got a couple nice local feeds. We have Sean Porter down there, and he's got a camera and a rig, and hopefully we'll get... oh, thank you. Thank you, Mustafa27. Thank you. 3 a.m. It's amazing. Yeah, I'm telling Sean what's going on. I actually... Sean probably can't hear what I'm saying, but in the course of the testing right now with what happened, I can actually see what's going on. I know how to fix it, but there's no way I can actually fix it right here, right now with what we're doing. So we will have it ready for next time, and this is how you learn. This is how you learn. What else is going on, everybody? How are you guys doing? Let's take a look and see if you have any questions. I know we've had a lot go on today, some amazing rallies. This morning we had Frack Off Friday. If you guys didn't catch that, Frack Off Friday, pretty amazing. With Philip Sutton. Let me give you his. We had this great card made here. This is from Steph, volunteer. Oh, and it looks like somebody's going somewhere. We may have somebody speaking. Oh no, just people moving around. But this was this morning, Frack Off Friday. Climate Code Red. Special guest Philip Sutton was is co-author there with David Spratt. These guys are in Australia. He joined us. It was 3 a.m. his time joining us. Sounds like we have some other friends here that are also joining us from that late. And he told us a lot of the reality I don't think we were aware of, stark truth about climate change, where we really sit and what's going down. The models that we've previously used just aren't accurate. And that's just something we have to understand, that the models we've had for climate science we are discovering that things are far worse than we knew. We are 40 years behind the ball in terms of climate change as it is. ExxonMobil knew 40 years ago. They knew in 1978, 1977, they knew that we needed to stop carbon emissions. And we had a small window to do it. We're well past that window, folks. And it turns out things are shifting and changing at a much more erratic and rapid pace than we thought. So that cushion that they give with all these climate models, Obama's climate model and Hillary's, even Bernie's model is not strong enough. But he's the only one that's called for a World War II style attack on climate change, and that's what it's going to take. It's going to take a global effort. It's going to take all of us digging down. We've got to do it in about 10 years. We've got a very small window to basically end carbon emissions and convert the entire world to renewable energy. Or we're going to live on a planet that we're not going to want to be here. We may lose entire food supplies, vast famines. We already have that going on around the world. We already have problems with water and drought and temperatures that are too high, and we already have these issues. It's getting worse and worse every year. And I was reading an article where they're talking about storms. Storms, we think about storms today and the flooding and the waves. Think about storms so powerful they can toss boulders around and the kind of damage that would do. The predictions of ice melt that they're now looking at, we're talking 10 feet in 30 years. That's pretty scary. 10 feet in 30 years, not this vast, 100 years that they said they were going to have to get to a certain place. That's a lot of water, sea rise. Okay, that's pretty scary stuff. So things have gotten a very, very well. They're urgent. They were urgent 40 years ago. Now they're even more so. Let's see. Take a look at some bizarre stories while we're waiting for this to get going. We heard Rosario Dawson at the beginning, and she was explaining about the establishment media and how establishment media is they have a choice, and they're being told, the people that work in establishment, this includes Hollywood actors, actresses, the ones that you see, you're like, why in the world are they endorsing Hillary Clinton? Well, it's basically because they're afraid of losing their jobs, and there's that hidden agenda, that hidden message that if you're loyal, you'll be okay with the establishment media. And a message. I know I've repeated myself several times with this today, folks, but I really want to make it clear. If you are a journalist, the 99 value integrity. Okay, that's what we want. We want integrity, not loyalty to the establishment. So we're going to reward integrity. You choose, and I would choose wisely, because we will remember where you went. And that's, I just want to say that this is what it comes down to. It comes down to establishment. If you're going to stay there for your paycheck, worry about your job, not do the right thing, and speak with integrity as a journalist, you're no longer a journalist, really. You're just a bobblehead for the propaganda machine. That's really what she's saying. And I know it's hard. I know it's tough. It's scary. Oh, we got people cheering. Hang on, let me a second. I want to make sure nothing's going on here. Let's flop over and. People are clapping and cheering loudly. Give me a minute. I'll get this. You can see that. See what's going on. Thank you for being here with me. I really can't tell what's happening. Give me a minute. I'll bring up some audio, and we'll see if there's anything actually being said here. No, sounds like we just got some background music. Somebody's rallying up the crowd. You can see them moving around, cheering, jumping up and down. That looks like fun. Yeah. How are you all doing? This has been a long day. We've got. Did you know that Jessie Fares was at the Portland rally, and she was there. I think she got up 5:45 in the morning. She got some great footage. We have an interview. Looks like they're not going to start as soon as I want. Maybe we'll run an interview. You guys are probably tired of hearing me. And yeah, I'm watching the Secret Service guy walk around. And here come police guys. So this is what I don't want to miss it. See, you watch these guys move around. You're like, are they getting started? Is something happening? I don't want to start an interview. I don't want to do that because I think they're going to get started here. So let's see. Let me get this squared up. You guys watch that. I'm just going to get us ready here. I think this is historic, and we don't want to miss this. Anybody out there heard how many people in the crowd, or how long, if there's a line still waiting? I'm gonna check your comments. What do you guys? What do you got? Can anyone give us an estimate of the full of how full Safeco is? That's exactly what I'm looking for. Do we have an estimate of that, guys? How full is Safeco? Anybody know? Let me see. What do you say in the comments? John, they will wait till the line of people to get in. Yeah. Is there? So there's a line still going? Jane is streaming in Alaska? Awesome. Who's Jane? Hi, Jane. Glad you're streaming in Alaska. Oh, Jane. I got it. Jane Sanders in Alaska. Yes. I took me a minute. I put that together. I kept thinking it was somebody else doing a stream. There's so many independents that are picking up feeds these days. It's great. It's been phenomenal. And they're zooming in. You're watching these people here. Still a large line. Okay. Okay, still a large line. That's 3K still waiting. Jeez. You're kidding me. MSNBC is actually covering this? That's ridiculous. They must be covering it for a reason. Was there an auto accident? Has it inconvenienced people? It can't possibly be because of... Jeff Weaver. Sorry, I'm looking at... Boy, you guys are having a conversation. Woo! Flying by. That's awesome. That is so awesome. Thank you all for being here. Really appreciate it. Thank you for being here. Give me a second. I went into the wrong thing. I do this. Messing around trying to get the live view unit going. I have to juggle BTV accounts. I basically had Sean pushing a stream, or trying to get Sean to push a stream up to politicalrevolution.tv while we're over here on this one. The problem is I can't look at both accounts at the same time, which makes it really weird for me to be broadcasting live to you, like lots of you out there listening to me explain all this to you and looking at that picture of whatever that is. Welcome, everybody. This is Bernie2016.tv, and the way it works is with a whole bunch of volunteers. They get together and spend a lot of their time making this go. And I just want to say thanks to all of them. We've got comment, chat, moderators and monitors, and they help keep this the best conversation on the net. That's what it's about. The lower third will show your messages and your thoughts, and we copy them out there and drop them in there and show those messages. That's part of what we do. That's part of how it works. And really want to thank you all for being here. We've got quite an audience today, more than 1,000 already. And I really should check live production. Chat says still long lines, people getting in. Thank you so much. Yeah, exactly. Robin Morris, he's just vamping. I am totally just vamping, guys. I could pull up a story. We could talk about stuff. You could tell me something going on. If there's a clip you want me to run, but oh, look at this. Hang on. Let me switch over here. Let me get this. Where we put that? Check out that pan. Check out that pan they're doing there. That's Fox 13 showing you the crowd. That's badass. That is badass. Oh, Sean, look at that. Sean, there's Sean. We had the wave going for a while. He's dropping comments in. Fantastic. Sean is down there on, I believe he's down there on the field. And he's capturing this. He should be recording. Sean, you better be recording this. Oh, thank you, Pop Dob. I appreciate that. Well, I'm vamping. We're just talking. We're just talking, waiting for this to go. This is incredible. This is, as I was saying earlier, it's like a rock concert, you know? It's a rock concert. Look at that. Look at all that. Oh. One of these days, I will be at one of these, and I'll have to suffer through the lines, and it'll be worth it. It'll be worth it, whatever it takes. Wow, 1,100. Thanks, Eric. Look at all those cameras. Look at that. That's awesome. We don't usually get this perspective. This is really cool. Television has changed. I love the way the internet has kind of brought it to be way more open like this. And that was the whole purpose of this, was that we could have a conversation. We could just hang out together and have some popcorn, drink a beer or whatever, and watch stuff together. Have a conversation. Thank you. Thank you very much. It's because of Bernie Sanders. Yeah, that's better than what I said earlier. I really had my tongue tied earlier, but yeah, absolutely. That's hilarious. Let's see. What else? Have you guys all seen the new Tulsi Gabbard ad that came out? I don't want to run it right now. It's pretty harsh, pretty gut-wrenching. And I feel like we're getting ready to go on soon. But if you guys you guys haven't seen that, that's look for it. I don't know. I might have dropped information in here. I'm not sure. If let me see. Did I put it in the lower third? Did I give you guys a bunch of links? No, I didn't. I'm sorry. I'm lazy. I will. I'll have to get you guys links. Well, you know where it is. The Tulsi Gabbard video. Go watch that. It's good. It's harsh. It's a good video. Oh, did I run out of comments? I did. Look at me. Yay. Normally I'm fall way behind, and you guys have done like a ton of comments, and I feel really bad because we haven't seen them. But this time I caught up with you. I'm happy, and I know it's because you guys are just really waiting for this thing to start. And you know what else you're really gonna say? Let's take a look here. Penny Richard, what is the link for the petition to White House about a revote in AZ? There are tons and tons. Guys in Slack, let's get those dropped into the chat. Let's get the links for the petitions. Sean Porter says it's crazy down here. Of course, that was in the lower third. I'm just reading these things. Had the wave. What else is going on? I sleep occasionally. I get like 4.5, 5 hours of sleep a night if I'm really working it, and that's good. It's enough. We're tracking. See, I'm tracking 2 hashtags, Bernie in Seattle and well, where did it go? Oh, here it is. I had Bernie. Here we go. Let's see what these look like. This is Bernie Sanders, or Bernie Sanders. That is what it is. There we go. This has got some great stuff going on it. I think there's a few things. I'm glad that this went viral. The thing that I will say I was not happy to see earlier today. I don't know if you guys caught this. This is a series of where we go here, words. I never thought I would see these put together in this way. But that says Cruz sex scandal, which is really scary. I don't even know what it is. I haven't even paid attention. I don't care. I don't want to know. Okay. After bad lip reads and the Cruz booger close up, I didn't want to know what this was. So I don't even have any idea what this is really about. All I know is I saw that and I went, really? Are you serious? Like really? And then here, I want to show you some of the other ones I saw today. This is a much better one. Let's see. Let's cut over to camera. What are we camera for? Oh, you can't even tell what that is, can you? Here, hang on. Here, this one. This is Bernie Sanders. So that was nice. That was nice. And then this one this one only lasted a little while. I have no idea where this came from. Was this like anonymous having fun or why? But I thought that one was great. Trump loves pecker. This is the internet. This is better than cats and bacon, right? But out of all of them, you've got Ted Cruz and Donald Trump with these sexual innuendo hashtags, and then you have Bernie Sanders, something a little more, that's better. And then have you seen the memes going around with Hillary and the different, like now we know Bernie's got the what was that, the goldfinch, I think it was, whatever, on his podium, and Hillary's got a bald eagle, and I think Donald Trump is killing the bird or something. I love the memes. I knew there would be a great set of memery out on that, and I think we have some good pictures in here we can pull up. But all right, enough of that. I just had to show you those things. The first thing I do in the morning while I'm building the newsroom is look for basically see what's going on Twitter. Twitter is my go-to for what the heck is going on the web and what hashtags are up, and it's really sad sometimes what I see. And first thing in the morning to see Cruz sex tape, to see either of those would be just really, it's just disturbing. It's really disturbing. Anyway, we go back to that. That's all. I just wanted to show you some of the lesser known headlines from today. And yeah, what is he doing? He's eating I'm reading, a bald eagle wanted to rip Trump's eyes out. I gotta tell you this while we're waiting for this to happen. I gotta tell you this weird story. You guys know who Amy Roloff is? Amy Roloff had the show Little People Big World. Little People Big World. Little People Big World. Jeez. Little People Big World. That show. It was on for a while. TLC. Well, she lives out here. She lives out in Helvetia Road. It's a really cool area, and she's really cool, actually. I've met the whole family. We did website for them back when I did web development. But I had this auction, and this has something to do with Donald Trump and bald eagles and stuff, and it was very interesting. There was an interesting piece made, and I will just say that it was definitely something that could be taken as patriotic. I could absolutely see how somebody could look at it and say that is remarkably patriotic. Or someone with a more cynical nature, sarcastic sense of humor might think of it more like a bald eagle taking a dump on the earth. And that's all I'm going to say. And when I walked into the auction take, I went, what? It was like the oddest double take. I don't know if it's sold. I just know that of all the auction items, I thought that is really cool. If you pick that, you're really making a statement. I'm not sure what it is, but you're definitely making a statement with that auction item. Anyway, I just had to tell you about that. Oh no, I'm reading your comments here. It was a golden finch. Thank you. I knew it was. Thank you. I appreciate that. What are the things we have to talk about? Let's look for news. That's KGW. Crowd building for Bernie Sanders at Moda Center. That's their strip. Did you guys notice that these guys KGW here? I'll slide that over. We can look at that. That's a nice picture they got going there. We've got all sorts of streams happening today. From you get into Bernie territory, and there's all sorts of streams. You know. We are so relevant. KGW is running a lower third now. They run this Twitter strip. I think I'm starting to see that on other news stations. They're starting to run just scroll Twitter. It seems familiar. Like I don't know where they got that idea to do that, to put social data under there. I don't know. Oh, nice. Sean dropped some pictures of what's going on. Give you an idea of how full we are here. Let me grab this up and you can look at it. 1 second. Thank you all for vamping with me. That's basically what we're doing here. We're just hanging out, waiting for Bernie Sanders to come on, and when he does, we'll cut to it. We've talked about a lot of different stories today. There was the bird earlier. We had the climate mobilization, and I don't know, Bernie was in Portland, which is my hometown. It was fantastic. It was huge. It was wonderful. And now we're just waiting for him to show up at this. Oh, wait. I think we're going here. These guys have him talking. That's not what I want. Is this guy going up here or what? Hang on a sec, guys. Yeah, we got a guy talking.
My name is Ramandeep Singh Mann, and I am here to introduce a man who needs no introduction.
The concept of
Let me get out of here.
We all know who we're here to see today. And the funny thing is, last Sunday I was sitting, where you guys are, and I had not in my wildest dreams thought that I would be giving this speech today. But here I am, and let's get to it. I'm a person, believe it or not, who has never cared to or had the desire to be involved in anything political. I just never cared because I thought it wouldn't make a difference, and why waste my time? And why waste my time with something that can never be fixed? But this time I did get involved, and there are two main reasons why.
All right, I don't even know that this is the right one. Give me a second here. I don't even think that's the right thing. Give me a second, guys. I got streams all over the place. That's KGW. I don't think that's live there. I think that was somewhere else. Fox 10 is now running something different. Or Fox 13 is running something different. They're running a Bernie Sanders interview. And Como News is just showing the dugout. Sean, tell me what's going on here. Is anybody talking yet? Because then I think what I'm seeing from what we just showed there for a brief second, folks, that sorry, I know my audio was down. I apologize. I think what I just showed there for a brief second had nothing to do with anything. So ignore that. I apologize deeply. I'm just I'm looking at all these streams, and I want to make sure that I'm not missing anything. I don't know where that guy is. That says Moda Center. It says live feed though, but I'm waiting for somebody to let me know. Did it start? Anyone? Anybody? We get confirmation here? Go back. All right. We'll go back.
And in some cases, people have even lost their lives. Being the son of Sikh immigrants, I cannot stand silently by as the Republican Party leads this nation down a dark and dangerous path. How can any of us stand by and let this happen? That's why Bernie's vision has inspired so many of us to join this revolution. And that's why it is very important to get involved and get out and caucus tomorrow, March 26th, 9 a.m. Without further ado, let's give future President Bernie Sanders a loud 12th man welcome.
Thank you, Seattle. Thank you. You know, when I was a kid, I had a dream of being at home plate in a major league ballpark. But I didn't know that I would be giving a speech. I thought I have a bat in my hand, so thank you all very much. What a fantastic turnout. Thank you, Seattle. Let me thank Felicia Pales, PM Marcus Lalario Band, Jawara McDuffie, the Taco Cat Band, Shama Savant, Grace Love, Dallas Roberts, Jessica Severance, Greenski Bluegrass Band, John Popper, and Roman Deep Siegman. And mostly thank all of you for coming out tonight. Tomorrow, are you guys ready to make history tomorrow? Well, at 10 a.m. in caucuses all over the state, that is exactly what we will be doing. Tomorrow morning, the great state of Washington has the opportunity to help lead this country into a political revolution. Tomorrow morning, in the great state of Washington, we are going to say loud and clear, the billionaire class cannot have it all. Tomorrow morning, we are going to tell the world that we demand a government that represents all of us, not just a handful of wealthy campaign contributors. Here is the political reality that we have seen throughout this campaign. If there is a large voter turnout tomorrow, we'll win. If there is a low voter turnout, we'll lose. Let's make sure there is a large voter turnout. We began this campaign some 10 months ago. When we began, all of the media experts and all of the pundits said, Bernie, you're a nice guy. You comb your hair beautifully. You're a GQ kind of guy. But really, your campaign is a fringe candidacy. You can't win. Well, 11 months, 10 months have come and gone. When we began, we were 3% in the polls, 70 points behind Hillary Clinton. Yesterday, a national poll came out, we're 1 point up. We have now won 11 states. And if there are large turnouts tomorrow in Washington, Hawaii, and Alaska, we have a shot to win 3 more. And I believe that if we win here in Washington, we're going to win in California. We are gonna win in Oregon, and we've got a real path toward victory to the White House. And let me also say that if we win the Democratic nomination, we are gonna win the general election. Poll after poll shows us that in matchups with Donald Trump, don't worry, Trump will not become president. A recent CNN poll, consistent with many other polls, showed Hillary Clinton doing very well against Trump. She was beating him by 12 points. We were beating him by 20 points. She was tied up with Ted Cruz. We were beating him by 13 points. She was losing to John Kasich. We were beating him by 6 points. So don't let anybody tell you that Hillary Clinton is the strongest Democratic candidate to take on the Republicans. It is not true. But it is not just polls. Democrats and progressives will win when there is a large voter turnout. Republicans win when people become demoralized and don't come out to vote. It is our campaign, as you can see here tonight. It is our campaign that is creating the incitement and the enthusiasm which will result in a huge voter turnout in November. Let me just say for a moment a few of the very important differences between Secretary Clinton and myself. And one of them has to do with how you raise money for a campaign. When we began this campaign, we had to make a very simple decision, and that decision was, should we do what every other campaign does and start a super PAC? We agreed with you. We didn't want a super PAC. We don't need a super PAC. We don't represent Wall Street, corporate America, or the billionaire class. So we did it a different way, different than any other campaign. We went to the working families and the middle class of this country, and what we said is, if you want a candidate who is prepared to take on big money interests, protect and expand the middle class of this country, help us out. And what happened was unbelievable. Up to this point, we have now received almost 6 million individual campaign contributions. More contributions than any campaign in the history of the United States of America. Anybody here know what the average contribution is? $27. To paraphrase Abraham Lincoln at Gettysburg, this is a campaign of the people, by the people, and for the people. Now, Secretary Clinton did it in a slightly different way. She established several super PACs, and our largest super PAC recently reported raising $25 million in special interest money, including $15 million from Wall Street. In addition, as many of you know, Secretary Clinton has given speeches behind closed doors to large Wall Street financial institutions for $225,000 a speech. Now, I kind of think that if somebody's going to pay you $225,000 for a speech, it must be a mind-blowing, brilliant, earth-shattering speech. It must be written in Shakespearean prose. It must be a speech that will uplift the entire world. Therefore, I think the Secretary should release the transcripts of that speech. Now, Secretary Clinton says she is prepared to release the transcripts if other people, other candidates, release their transcripts. So tonight, here in this beautiful baseball field, I am prepared to make a dramatic announcement. Are you ready? Tonight, in the beautiful city of Seattle, I am announcing that I will release all of the transcripts of my speeches to Wall Street. Are you ready? Here they are. Shh. There aren't any, no speeches. Now, I can't understand, I just can't understand why Secretary Clinton gets $225,000 and I can't even get a damn invitation to speak to Wall Street. I don't know why. Forget 225, what about 20,000, 2,000, 18 bucks? Can't get it. And maybe it has something to do with the fact that Wall Street would not be interested in hearing what I had to say. So my cell phone is on. I am waiting the call from Wall Street. If I get that call and if I get that invitation, this is what I will tell them. I will tell them that their greed and recklessness and illegal behavior drove this country into the worst economic downturn since the Great Depression of the 1930s. I will tell them that the middle class of this country bailed them out because their banks were too big to fail, but today 3 out of the 4 largest banks are bigger than they were when we bailed them out because they were too big to fail. And I will tell them that when a handful of financial institutions has so much economic and political power, it is time to A, reestablish Glass-Steagall legislation, and B, it is time to break them up. We need a financial institution in this country which provides affordable loans to small and medium-sized businesses and to the working families of this country, not financial institutions that exist as an island unto themselves, worried only about their profits. Now, this campaign is doing well because we are listening to the American people and not just wealthy campaign contributors. We are listening to working people who tell me they can't make it on $8 or $9 an hour. And I want to congratulate the City Council of Seattle, the people of Seattle, for doing the right thing and leading this country to what we've got to do nationally, $15 an hour for every worker in America. This campaign is listening to senior citizens and disabled veterans. And they are telling me they cannot make it on $11,000 or $12,000 a year Social Security. Republicans want to cut Social Security. Instead, we have got some bad news for them. We're not going to cut Social Security, we're going to raise Social Security benefits. This campaign is doing well because we are telling the American people the truth. And the truth is that today we have a campaign finance system which is corrupt, a system which is undermining American democracy. And that is why, together, we are going to overturn Citizens United. why we are going to move to public funding of elections. Now, this is serious business, because when you have the Koch brothers and a handful of billionaires spending hundreds of millions of dollars to elect candidates who represent the wealthy and the powerful, that is not democracy, that is oligarchy. We will not accept that. And this campaign is exposing the reality that today we are living in a rigged economy. Millions of Americans are working longer hours for low wages, yet almost all new income and wealth goes to the top 1%. America must not be a country in which the top 1/10 of 1% owns almost as much wealth as the bottom 90%. We must not be an economy where the 20 wealthiest people own more wealth than the bottom 150 million Americans. We are not going to be an economy where the Walton family of Walmart owns more wealth than the bottom 40% of the American people. Together, we are going to create an economy that works for all of us, not just the 1%. But it is not just a corrupt campaign finance system. It is not just a rigged economy. It is a broken criminal justice system. I am tired, you are tired of seeing videos on television of unarmed Americans being shot and killed by police. Now, I'm a former mayor. I have worked with police officers and police departments all over my state, all over this country. Vast majority of police officers are honest, hardworking, doing a very difficult job. But like any other public official, if a police officer breaks the law, that officer must be held accountable. In America, we have got to demilitarize local police departments. We have got to make police departments reflect the diversity of the communities they serve. We have got to rethink the war on drugs. Over the last 30 years, millions of Americans have received police records for possession of marijuana. Today, marijuana is listed as a Schedule I drug in the Federal Controlled Substance Act, alongside of heroin. And that is why I have introduced legislation to take marijuana out of the Federal Controlled Substance Act. As you all know, states make the decision regarding legalization of marijuana, but it should not be a federal crime. And when we talk about drugs, it's important to understand that we have a real crisis in this country, in my state, in New Hampshire, all over this country, of addiction to opiates and addiction to heroin. If we are going to be effective in addressing that serious crisis, we need to understand that drug abuse, alcohol abuse, substance abuse is a health issue, not a criminal issue. Today, the United States has more people in jail than any other country on earth. And not unrelated to that is that youth unemployment for our kids is sky high. For white kids, 33%. For Latino kids, 36%. African American kids, 51%. Together, we are going to protect our kids by investing in education and jobs, not jails and incarceration. This campaign is listening to women. And women are telling me they are sick and tired of working for 79 cents on the dollar compared to men. They want the whole damn dollar. And I know that every man here will stand with the women in the fight for pay equity. You know, we got Republicans running all over the country talking about family values, how much they love families. Everybody here must understand that when Republicans talk about family values, what they are saying is no woman here tonight in this state, in this country, should have the right to control her own body. I disagree. They are saying that our gay brothers and sisters should not have the right to get married. I disagree. Now, Jane and I have been married for 27 years. We have 4 kids, 7 grandchildren. And we believe in family, but our views a little bit different than Republicans. When I talk about family values, I talk about ending the international disgrace of the United States being the only major country on earth that does not guarantee paid family and medical leave. This campaign is listening to young people. And I am so excited that all over this country, young people are standing up and fighting for their rights. Young people are the future of our nation, and they want a say in the future of our nation. Young people tell me that their parents, their teachers, everybody said to them, go out and get the best education that you can. That it is important for you, it's important for our economy. You go to school and you get all of the education you can. And that was the right advice. Problem is that many of these young people have come out of school $30,000, $50,000, $80,000 in debt. What this campaign is about is asking the American people to think outside of the box, to think outside of the status quo, to understand that we can change in a fundamental way the status quo. It doesn't have to continue. Think about it for 1 second. Why are we punishing millions of people for getting an education? Why are we forcing them to pay off outrageous levels of student debt, in some cases for decades? We should be rewarding people for getting an education, not punishing them. Look, 50 years ago, 100 years ago, it was a great idea that we had public education systems throughout our country which guaranteed free public education to all from first grade to 12th grade. That was an enormous achievement. But in 2016, the economy and the world is different than it was 50 years ago. People today need more education. "50 years ago, a high school degree was the equivalent of what a college degree is today. It enabled you to go out and get a decent job. The world has changed, the economy has changed, and our conception of public education has got to change, and that is why I believe that we have got to make public colleges and universities tuition free. Now, some people think that this is a radical idea. It is not a radical idea. Germany does it, Scandinavia does it, countries all over the world invest in their young people because they understand a well-educated population is the future of their country. Furthermore, we have got to deal with this crisis of student debt, which means that we have got to give those millions of people now carrying student debt the opportunity to refinance those loans at the lowest interest rates they can find. This campaign is listening to the Latino community. There are today about 11 million people in this country who are undocumented. And what the Latino community is telling me is they are tired of living in the shadows. They are tired of being exploited. They are tired of living in fear. They want, I want, comprehensive immigration reform and a path towards citizenship. And let me just say that if the Congress does not do their job and pass comprehensive immigration reform, I will use the executive powers of the presidency to do everything I can. Immigration reform is about bringing families together, not separating them. It is about ending the deportations we see today. This campaign is listening to our brothers and sisters in the African American community. And they are asking me how it can be that this country has trillions of dollars to spend on a war in Iraq that we never should have gotten into in the first place. A war which I strongly opposed. But somehow we can spend trillions on that war, but we don't have the funds available to rebuild crumbling inner cities all over this country. Well, we're going to change those priorities. No more tax breaks for billionaires and large corporations. We're going to invest in inner cities, create great schools, put people to work, provide health care to all. I was in Flint, Michigan 3 or 4 weeks ago, and what I observed in Flint and what I heard from people was literally something that not only broke my heart, it was hard for me to believe was occurring in the United States of America in the year 2016. In this country, children are being poisoned with excessive lead in the water in America in 2016. Now, Flint may be the worst example of a collapsing infrastructure, but it is not the only example. All over this country, hundreds of cities have inadequate water systems, inadequate wastewater plants, bridges are deteriorating, roads are inadequate, our rail system fallen behind many other countries, levees and dams need enormous amounts of work. We can create 11 million good-paying jobs rebuilding our crumbling infrastructure. This campaign is listening to our brothers and sisters in the Native American community. Now, I don't have to tell anyone here tonight who has read 5 minutes of American history that from day one, when the first settlers came to this country before we were a nation, Native Americans were lied to, they were treated in absolutely disgraceful ways. Treaties negotiated in good faith were broken. We owe the Native American community far more than we can repay. Some of the best parts of our culture, some of the very best parts of our culture come from the first Americans. Our understanding of the environment and the need to be part of nature, not to destroy nature, comes from Native Americans. But today, all over this country, we find on reservations and in Native American communities unemployment, extremely high, suicide rates, horrific, alcoholism, drug addiction, schools that are inadequate, health care that is inadequate. I pledge that if elected president, there will be a fundamental change in the relationship of the United States government to the Native American communities. When we talk about the crises we face as a nation, at the top of the list is the understanding that climate change is real. It is caused by human activity. It is already causing major problems in our country and around the world. We have a moral responsibility to leave this planet in a way that is healthy and habitable to future generations. This is not an American issue. This is a global issue. We have got to lead the way in working with Russia, China, India, countries all over the world in standing up to the fossil fuel industry and in telling them that their short-term profits are not more important than the future of this planet. We know exactly what has to be done, and that is to transform our energy system away from fossil fuel to energy efficiency and sustainable energy. The future of energy in America is not coal, it is not oil, it is not gas. It is wind, it is solar, it is geothermal, it is sustainable energy. And when we make that transformation, we clean up the environment, we combat climate change, and we create millions of decent paying jobs. Now, I have been roundly criticized for saying this, so let me say it again. I believe that health care is a right of all people, not a privilege. Now, the affordable, I'm on the committee that helped write the Affordable Care Act, and it has done a lot of good. We've done away with this obscenity called pre-existing conditions. Some 17 million people now have insurance who previously did not. We have done away with discrimination against women in terms of the cost of their health care premiums. But today in America, we remain the only major country that does not guarantee health care to all people as a right. The UK does it, France does it, Germany does it, Holland does it, Italy does it, Scandinavia does it, Canada does it. And in my view, we have got to do the same thing here in America. Today, 29 million people still have no health insurance, and many of you are underinsured with high deductibles and high co-payments. Is that right? And we are being ripped off in an unconscionable way by the drug companies who are charging us the highest prices in the world for our medicine. And on top of all of that, we end up paying by far more money for health care per capita than any other country on earth. In my view, we have got to have the courage to take on the insurance companies, take on the drug companies, and pass a Medicare for all single-payer program. And when we do that, we will save the middle-class families thousands of dollars a year on their health care costs. Now, everybody here knows that real change never takes place from the top on down. Real change historically always takes place from the bottom on up, when millions of people come together and say the status quo is unacceptable. 100 years ago, when workers were being ruthlessly exploited, when they were treated like animals, when they had no right on the job, when their wages were inadequate, they stood up and they said, we are human beings, we're going to form unions, we're going to bargain collectively. And when workers formed unions, wages went up, and every American worker benefited. And I want to take this opportunity tonight to thank the International Longshore and Warehouse Union for their support. And to thank the many other millions of union workers who are supporting this campaign. For hundreds of years, African Americans and their allies worked together to say that in America, segregation, bigotry, discrimination was not what this country is supposed to be about. It didn't come from the top on down. It came from people who stood up, who fought, who went to jail, who were killed, who were beaten, to say that in this country we will wipe out racism. We forget this, but 100 years ago, a very short time from an historical perspective, 100 years ago, women in America could not vote, could not go to the schools they wanted to, could not do the work and the jobs they wanted to do. But women and their male allies said that in this country, women will not be second-class citizens. And change took place from the bottom on down. And then, if we were here, and I want you to think about this, we were here 10 years ago, somebody jumps up and says, you know, I think that gay marriage will be legal in the United States by the year 2015. Legal in 50 states. Very few people would have believed that would have been possible. But what happened is, for decades, the gay community and their straight allies said that people in this country have a right to love each other regardless of their gender. And against horrific bigotry and hatred. And my state of Vermont was one of the leaders in this country in the fight for gay marriage. And I saw, we saw the tension, the prejudices that took place. But because of the struggle of the gay community and their straight allies, we achieved gay marriage in 50 states in this country, from the bottom on up. And let me give you another example that this city should be very proud of in terms of real change. This city, if we were here 7 years ago, and somebody jumps up and they say, Bernie, you know, the $7.25 an hour minimum wage is a starvation wage, it is a disgrace. We've got to raise it to $15 an hour. What most people around them would have said, $15 an hour, you're nuts. You are trying to double, more than double the minimum wage. It's too radical an idea. It can't happen. Think smaller. But what happened is that all over this country, people in the fast food industry, people who worked at McDonald's, at Burger King, at Wendy's, they went out on strike. And I was privileged to march with them in Washington, D.C. They went out on strike. They protested. They went to the community. And they said to America, we can't live on $7.25 an hour. And then, right here in Seattle, your city council said, we're going to raise the minimum wage to $15 an hour. And then suddenly Los Angeles, San Francisco, $15 an hour. Oregon, New York State, $15 an hour. And millions of American workers will be able to live with a shred of dignity because of that movement. And that is what change is about. It is what change has always been about. It is when people look around them and say the status quo is not acceptable. And other people will tell them, you can't do it. You want to wipe out racism, you want to wipe out segregation, you want to wipe out homophobia, you want to end discrimination against workers. You can't do it. Don't think so big. I disagree. And right now, we are at a pivotal moment in American history where millions of people are looking around this country and they're beginning to see that grotesque levels of income and wealth inequality not acceptable. Trade policy which cost us millions of jobs, not acceptable. Millions of people leaving college deeply in debt, not acceptable. Women working for 79 cents on the dollar, not acceptable. The United States having the highest rate of childhood poverty of any major country, not acceptable. A corrupt campaign finance system, not acceptable. A broken criminal justice system, not acceptable. The fact that we're the only major country on earth not to have health care for all or paid family and medical leave, not acceptable. And that is where we are today. Millions of people are saying the status quo is not acceptable. We need a political revolution. I am the only candidate for president who will tell you a simple truth, and that is that no president, not Bernie Sanders or anybody else, can address the major crises facing this country unless tens of millions of people stand up, fight back, and demand a government which represents all of us, not just the 1%. And if we stand together, black and white and Latino and Asian American and Native American, gay and straight, men and women, people born in this country, people who came to this country, if we stand together, there is nothing we cannot accomplish. Our job is to think big, not small. Our job is to have a vision of what this country can be. And it is a vision which says that all of our people can have a decent standard of living, where we have a vibrant democracy, where all of us determine the future, not just the few. Now, Donald Trump is not going to become president of the United States. He is not going to become president because the American people understand that bringing people together is what makes us strong, and it trumps dividing us up. The American people understand that togetherness, supporting each other, that when you are in trouble, we are there for you. When my family is in trouble, you are there for us. That togetherness always trumps selfishness. And most importantly, the American people understand that we are not going to elect a president who insults Mexicans and Latinos, who insults Muslims, who insults women, who insults veterans, who insults African Americans. And it was a candidate running like he was in a cafeteria food fight in the 8th grade. But most importantly, I think, the American people understand what every major religion on earth has taught us, whether it is Christianity, Judaism, Islam, Buddhism, Sikh religion, whatever religion, has always taught us that love trumps hatred. Tomorrow morning, 12 hours from now, people of Washington will have the opportunity to make a very profound statement, and that is that Washington will help lead this country forward into a political revolution. If there is a large voter turnout tomorrow, we will win. If there is a low voter turnout, we will lose. Please come out tomorrow. Bring your friends and your relatives. Let's make history tomorrow. Thank you.
That's Bernie Sanders, Safeco Field. That was incredible. That crowd was loud. That was so loud. That was awesome. That was so awesome. And did you see what they pulled back there? And that swarm of black suits, the Secret Service, just coming in there. That it freaks me out, and it makes me feel good. It's like, okay, at least I know that he's being protected. And but that was our future president of the United States addressing Stadium, Safeco Stadium. They had the you guys are in there. Look, they're panning around. They're going places. Looks like he's over there talking to people, shaking hands like he does with the swarm of Secret Service there protecting him. The top ring apparently wasn't populated, they were saying. So I don't know really. We have no idea what the actual crowd count was. Hi everybody. It was like 1,600 plus. Thank you for being here. Really, really thank you. And thank you, KGW.com, an NBC local affiliate, for bringing this to us without punitive damage, which is the case with any national stream we try to use. This is political speech. It belongs to the people, and we're really glad that we can carry it without retribution. So thank you so much. The local stations have always been great with us when we started this. But thank you for being here, everybody. I got a few notes. I want to talk about a few notes, things that I need to remember. Today, I don't know if you guys know this, but the International Longshoremen and Warehouse Union, big old union out here in the Pacific Northwest, they endorsed Bernie Sanders. So that's badass. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for doing that. There's been a bunch of endorsements. I've been really bad at collecting a list, and I want to get them all together and just read them off to you, just for the record. Here's how many big unions and things and people and stuff have endorsed Bernie Sanders. But that was a cool one today. Earlier today in the Moda Center broadcast, I said that the Makana song, the acoustic version of Fire Is Yours that I played while we watched the New York rally, I just kind of did that overlay. I said that wasn't available. I'm full of shit. That's totally available. It's actually on the Makana CD. You can get that on iTunes. I know. Just look for it, Makana. He's an international guy. He actually played for a whole bunch of presidents and people around the world a little while ago. And he opened. He did a tune or so in Phoenix. and we got exclusive interview with him. If you didn't see that, that's one on one of the other rallies, and just awesome song. So you can get that. My point is that you can get that song. So I was wrong when I said it was some that you couldn't. There's the outside of Safeco Field. Looks like they're showing. Wow, look at that. People still coming in from earlier today. I know that they didn't let everybody in. I think we all know that there was a lot of people that couldn't get in. I think there was something about security with that upper ring. I don't know what the deal is. That's what I'm hearing. We're saying in you guys are talking about in Slack, is that it's or in the chat. You guys are saying that it's the upper ring. The Secret Service wasn't going to let anybody in there or something like that. I don't know. So maybe that's the case, maybe not. Excuse me. You guys had a fantastic chat going on, massive conversation, great comments, such wonderful things. You guys were cracking me up. I can't even remember half the things I was reading. You were cracking me up with some of the things you were saying about Donald Trump and other things related to Bernie Sanders. I want to hit a couple other notes. Washington, Alaska, and Hawaii. You guys, you're tomorrow. You bring it out. Make history. Make it a ridiculous landslide so that Hillary gets 0 delegates. I'd love to see Hillary get 0 delegates and have the establishment not have anything to tell. Like, well, we don't have anything to tell you. Hillary, I mean, what would they do? They'd have to. If we bring it out like that, they'll just like sit there like idiots. They won't know what to say. We're winning. And at some point, they're going to have to actually admit that. It's going to be a wonderful thing. They're right now still trying to say he should drop out, which is absolutely ridiculous. It just sounds more and more stupid every time Bernie does another rally, every time he wins more delegates. So just keep the faith, everybody. We're winning this. He's 2 national polls. Show him up, okay, above Hillary. Two national polls. Check your registration. After what we saw, the voter suppression in Arizona, do not trust anything about your state and its polling process, its election process. You cannot trust the establishment with this. The DNC is definitely not in Bernie Sanders' favor. So we need to make sure, all of us, we need to check our registration, make sure you're registered, make sure you're registered correctly, make sure you do that for your state. You know what you do? You go to vote.berniesanders.com. and you get that information. That's where you go. Okay? You need that. Make sure it's done. We were scrambling. We got a ton of work done for New York, and I'm very excited about that. Tomorrow, apparently, Bernie Sanders is opening a Brooklyn office. Very cool. In one of Hillary's 3 supposed home states. I think we're going to do very well in New York. I'm looking forward to that. Bernie really made me think of, at one point he was talking about, I love it when he says, when your family's sick, we take care of you. When my family's sick, you take care of me. We're family. And it literally, I heard, we are family. Sister Sledge. Okay, I'm old. I'm dating myself. But seriously, it made me think of that. I was like, that's cool. We need to, I wonder if we could get that Bernieified, right? And I want to say something. Seattle, I think you guys are in a really good place to be one of the first, like, Bernieopolises. A city that really exemplifies a Berniecrat-run, community-driven city. So I just want to say that. I think that would be awesome. I think you guys could lead the way in a lot of ways. Same with Portland down here. I think Portland seriously feels the burn. You guys definitely do up there. Let me see if you guys have anything to say in chat. Anybody yapping at me in live production? Hi, Robin Morse. Also, crowd kept far from you. Yeah. John and Jane. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Jane. Thank you, Jane, over there with Robin Morris, who's one of our volunteers, banning out the comments and helping me find streams. This doesn't work without volunteers. There are a ton of volunteers doing all sorts of things. Things I don't even know what they're doing. I don't even keep track. I can't. We've got volunteers to keep track of volunteers that are doing things. It's the most amazing volunteer group that just comes together and does what needs to get done. They're incredible. It's awesome, and we wouldn't be here if it weren't for them. So thank you, Comment Mods, and everybody that does all the things to put this together. Thank you, audience. If you were not here, we wouldn't have a conversation, and that's what it's about, a conversation. Tomorrow I will be newsroom, 9 a.m. PST, noon Eastern. We have a very special guest. We have Luke Davis. He's with Place a Vote. and he is one of the nerdier nerds, and he is going to explain to us how this bank level security works, what's the deal with, can it be open source? Those were some of the big questions you guys had when we talked with Job Melton, co-founder of Place a Vote, and he was really talking more about what it was and how it worked, kind of the outside shell. And I know a lot of you were like, security and open source, and so now we've got one of the super nerds, guys who can really break it down for us, talk to us about the details, how this would work, how it would scale out, all that fun stuff. Goes way above my head in terms of tech, but I'm looking forward to learning from Luke. So join us tomorrow for that. Then I, unfortunately, will be taking off to the Corvallis area of Oregon. We are down there helping some family and potentially moving, actually. I'm very excited about that. So I will be gone. Bernie Sanders is doing a rally, and I knew where that rally was for just 1 minute, and then I forgot. Hang on. He is doing a rally in Madison, Wisconsin, folks. Tomorrow, Madison, Wisconsin. It's 3 my time, which puts it 6 Madison time, I think. Maybe 5 Madison time. Anyway, I hate the time zones. That's going on tomorrow, but I will not be broadcasting that. We will not be doing that at Bernie Sanders or Bernie2016.tv. Look for the stream, though. We'll be pushing that. Look for us on Twitter and on Facebook. We're always looking for the streams. We've got our team behind it. When we find a good one, we'll push it out to you. Hopefully, we'll find something local, and we can go watch that together. So, newsroom in the morning, and then Bernie Sanders, look for a stream for him. If you're in Washington, Alaska, and Hawaii, I expect you out, getting out the vote, doing what you need to do tomorrow. Please, let's make history. Let's make it ridiculous. Let's make establishment news just kind of sit there with, I would love to just them have nothing to say. Just leave them, jaw dropped. So, exciting, wonderful night. Thank you for being here. It's been a great day. 2 really badass rallies. Big badass rallies in Bernieville. This is definitely, this area around here is definitely burn. We feel the burn up here in the Pacific Northwest in a big way. Thank you guys for being here so much. Canvas, yes, Jessica Chambers, Canvas, definitely do that. Canvas, phone bank, face bank. Keep doing these things. This is what it takes, persistence. What the establishment is expecting us to do is give up. They're expecting us to get tired, to get burned out. But we're just getting started. Every time you hear them say something like, shouldn't Bernie drop out now? Just be like, no, he won't be dropping out because I'm not done. We're not done. We've got a lot of work to do here, folks. This is Democracy Spring. I'm bringing that to you on April 2nd as well, courtesy of Live You Solo. But that's a whole nother thing. We'll talk about that a little bit tomorrow. Join me tomorrow, Luke Davis, Place to Vote. If you don't know what it is, go there, placeavote.com. It's the future of our democracy. We're working on that together. All right, looks like we went through comments. That's sweet. All right, we're going to go out with the happy song because, well, it's what it's about. I want to go out with my happy song. It's kind of been the anthem as of late, and y'all should know what it is. I play it a lot, but this is well, now I got to find it in the list. Here we are with all you. Everybody's watching now. I can't find my own song in the list. That's terrible. Here we go. This is the color bars. End of the corporate age. And when I heard this, I was like, first of all, I'm an 80s. Okay, I was born in 1970, so that tells you something about the kind of music I was around. And this to me kind of has that feel. I love it. It's happy. It's got a great vibe, and it talks about what we're really doing here. We are ending the corporate age, the age of corporations controlling our lives and our democracy, ending the greed, and we're going to return to an age of the people. So this is like this is what we're doing. This is why it's so hard, as we are getting rid of corporations, and it's not an easy task. It's a very difficult task. We're getting rid of them as the controllers of our government. They never should have been allowed to control it in the first place, and we've had an age of corporatism, an age of corporate control, and this is the end of the corporate age, thanks to Bernie Sanders and the 99%. And we're going to win, everybody. Keep strong. Stay Bernie strong. Feel the burn. We will win. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Good night, everybody.
The wealthiest people of this country have seen a tremendous increase in their income.
while at the same time the standard of living of working people and poor people has declined. CEOs make more than 500 times of what their workers make. The middle class is shrinking. Poverty is increasing, while at the same time the people on top are doing phenomenally well.
People always tell me, man, you're wasting your time. Can't you see the monolith is immobile? Yes, I tell them kindly, still I've made up my mind. 'Cause the sky above's as big and limitless as it ever was. Gather round, people, in the town square. It's the end of the corporate age. There's a new caveat, let the center beware. This is the end of the corporate age. There's no quick and easy remedy that won't end in more calamity.
I mean, this is a fantastic time. From my standpoint, this is the best time that I've ever had.
All the bloviators keep on spreading the meme that there's only so much room at the table, telling us we're lucky to be eating the scraps. But we've got all the facts and we're taking our places back.
Billionaires shouldn't be allowed to hide in the shadows. Make them step out in the open where the American people can see.
Gather round, people, in the town square. It's the end of the corporate age. There's a new caveat, let the center beware. This is the end of the corporate age.
We are well on our way to seeing our great country move toward an oligarchic form of government.
There's no quick and easy remedy that won't end in more calamity.
Corporate America, Wall Street, the major campaign donors are so powerful that no president can take them on unless tens of millions of people say, guess what, Washington? You are going to start representing the needs of working families and the middle class, not just the billionaire class. We know what's going on. We are paying attention.
In the town square, end of the corporate age. New caveat, sell beware. End of the corporate age. It's the end of the corporate age. The corporate age. It's the end of the corporate age. It's the end of the corporate age. It's the end of the corporate age. The corporate age. It's the end of the corporate age. It's the end of the corporate age. The corporate age.
Huge